Welcome back to Poor Boys RC, everybody, where today we're going to discuss a touchy little subject that I wanted to cover. Are YouTube RC reviews legit?
Excellent!
Wait, hang on. First of all, Ricky, why the hell are you on my thumbnail?
Why is my face on the thumbnail? Well, of course, because I'm a legit RC reviewer.
That you are, Ricky. You are one of the best RC reviewers, in my opinion, that's out there right now in the world of YouTube. Shout out to Ricky at Beyond RC. He's one of the guys that I've been watching for a lot of years who I just find to be very genuine. He's always marched to the beat of his own drum. He's done his reviews his way, and I really respect that about him. I like to think that here at Poor Boys RC, I've done things very similarly. Although this isn't really a dedicated review channel, this channel really started off as more of just kind of like a pet project that grew into something bigger and bigger. It was kind of me sharing my love for vintage Tamiyas and Kyoshos and trying to create cinematic RC running videos. Let's just say the early days were pretty grim. I've got a lot better in the last 5-6 years, but the channel has just grown and grown. And part of that growth is doing reviews. Guys, I love this hobby. I'm reviewing stuff that I never even really would have considered buying before. Some drones, some helicopters, but I love all things RC and I love sharing it with you guys, my audience. In today's video, I wanted to touch on YouTube reviews because I've noticed a trend lately where cool to rip on the guy that's doing a review on a new RC product. And I'm gonna stick to just RC here, guys. I don't care about reviewing refrigerators or smartphones or anything like that. Let's just stick to RC. But lately I've just noticed more and more sort of negative comments in the comment section of not just my videos, a lot of other reviewers' videos. It almost seems like some people are envious that we get some cars for free and therefore they're gonna crap on our reviews because they didn't get the car for free. One huge highlight that I have to bring up is when I did my RC10 four-wheel drive review. It was a pretty mixed review. At the end of the day, I was very happy with the performance of the car. I love the look of the car. I love the fact that we have the opportunity to own the car, but I felt it was rushed and not a polished product. A lot of you guys agreed, a lot of you guys disagreed, and one fella decided to try and light me up. So just for reference, I thought it'd be fun to go through all the cars that I have here, and let's just see how many of these cars were free. Paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for. Free from Larlo, thanks Annie. Paid for. Gifted to the channel from a viewer. Thanks buddy. Paid for, 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 paid for. Gifted to the channel from a viewer. Thanks RC Elf. Paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for. I bought this one off another YouTuber, Ari, from the RC Retro channel. Thanks, brother. Which means paid for. Paid for. Yeah, I paid for that. It wasn't free. And I don't have fat fingers. They're just a little bit chunky, okay? Paid for. Shall we keep going? You want me to keep going? Okay, I'll keep going. Paid for, 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 paid for. Oh, Lord. Oh, gifted to the channel. Thanks, Shannon. Paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for. Paid a lot for that one. Paid for, paid for, paid for. Although this sweet body was gifted to me from Greg at Guru's World. Shout out to Greg at Guru's. SCX-10 Jeep Gladiator underneath there. You can kind of see it. Paid for. I'm not done. Paid for, falling over, paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for, paid. Oh, no, not paid for. Gifted to the channel. Thanks, Eric. Paid for, gifted to the channel from the same wonderful gentleman, Paul Coughlin. You're the best. Paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for. Gifted to the channel. That's a Larlo XTSF10. Thank you again, Annie. Paid for. Now getting into some of the expensive buggies. Paid for. Paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for. Not so expensive, but still paid for, paid for. Although this aluminum chassis was given to the channel for free for a review. Paid for, paid for. Also gifted to the channel from Paul Coughlin. And this one, this Marui, believe it or not, one of my old employees was about to throw it in the garbage. It belonged to his son. He said, hey man, you into these things? Yeah, I'm into these things. Okay, keep going guys. Paid for, free. Paid for, free. Some chargers I got a review for free, a drone that I got for free, and a bunch of free batteries. I'm not done. What about all these motors and, receivers and radios and all the other stuff, hop-ups and accessories? Paid for. So yeah, I think it's a little presumptuous to assume that every single car that we're looking at or focusing on our channels are free. They're definitely not always free. So again, going back to that RC10 four-wheel drive review, I think it just really highlights the fact that how YouTube works isn't fully understood by everybody watching at home. To keep content flowing, I gotta keep, buying new kits and raffling kits and asking you guys to use affiliate links. That's another big part of this video I think is really important to touch on is affiliate links. Before I dive into that though, I wanted to ask the internet what they thought about YouTube reviews. Let's see what the Reddit community has to say. S. Mackay, generally no. There are very few YouTube reviewers who aren't swayed by the lure of free gear. Even if they say the company has no say in the review, they don't want to trash talk the product. Doing so would mean jeopardizing future offers to review equipment. So even if there are serious flaws, you'll hear that it's a good product with room for improvement. My advice is to ignore launch day reviews. Watch the ones that are months old, telling how their products have stood the test of time in actual use. That's a pretty well thought out response. I actually kind of like that response. The one thing that I strongly disagree about in that response is that when we get an item for review, people want to see the new product when it's new. If I review this car 3 months after it came out, you guys aren't really going to give a rip about my review. So we have to put out reviews on items when they're new. That's A, what the manufacturers want us to do. That's part of our contractual agreement. And B, no one's really interested in old news. So that's my rebuttal to that comment. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. This one I find is just hilarious. Liftoff oversteer. No, almost all of them are dependent on the manufacturer sending shit their way, so they won't really say like it is. If they're too critical, the easy life is over. More on that in a second. There are some I would trust, like Gerald Undone. Those who aren't dependent on the YouTube money, I don't know what Gerald does for a living. If they're too critical, the easy life is over. Man, I think, in my opinion, that's a big swing and a big miss. There is nothing easy about making good YouTube videos. And I said the word good. I hope that my videos fall into that category. There's 1,000,001 YouTubers out there. And I'll tell you guys, it takes a lot of work, a lot of money, and a lot of dedication to make YouTube videos. Camera gear alone, good editing software, fast computers that you can edit with, time. Man, so much time. A lot of people knock him, but I respect the hell out of him. Kevin Talbot, he said himself, if he had to work 16 hours a day, he was gonna work 16 hours a day to get himself to be where he wanted to be. And he did it. 16 hours a day is not easy. It's a grind to work a day job, then come home and YouTube. I don't know how a lot of guys do it. Femio here says, people shit on YouTubers out of habit, and the fact that they inherently don't like content creators. Generally, most of the big ones are honest. It really just comes down to finding one whose taste and use case is similar enough to mine that I can trust their judgment. I like that answer. That makes a lot of sense. And then LPN8 says this, as long as the reviewer uses affiliate links, I do not trust it. Straight up. That is absolutely crazy to me. Not all YouTubers use affiliate links. That's their choice. I have a lot of affiliate links, companies that I believe in, that I stand behind, that I am partnered with. I've run businesses for 20 years. I've run auto body shops for 20 years. So my career was built on relationships. I'm building my YouTube channel with that exact same model. I love Eliminator RC in Canada. I love Great Hobbies. I love BC Hobbies. In America, I love A-Main. Guys, I went there last year. I got to hang out with Brett Bowen. He showed us around the track. Like, these are great organizations. Of course I'm going to support them. They want to support me. This is how partnerships work in business. I've heard so many mixed reviews on Relarlo. Some people want to beat up on them. I love Relarlo. I'm a huge fan of Relarlo. I'm always going to push their products because I believe in their product. Are they always absolutely perfect? No, but what is? Racer013 had a good response. I really like this response. You're entitled to that perspective, but personally, I think it's a short-sighted metric for determining trust. Like them or not, affiliate links are simply an additional revenue source for the creator. And in the creator space, that revenue diversification is critical for stability. Dude, home run, probably a creator. As a YouTuber, you have your AdSense revenue, which isn't much until you really start making it big. You have revenue from affiliate links, which isn't much until you start making it big. You get some paid sponsorships, which is pretty cool. Doesn't happen too often, at least in my experience, it hasn't happened too often. I think I've been paid twice. I think there's a misconception going, like a growing misconception in the world of RC YouTube, that we have it easy, we're making tons of money, we get everything for free. But there's another guy that I really respect out there, Mark Santamaria, and he did a video a little while ago where he discussed his monthly operating cost in making his videos. $3,000, $5,000, $7,000 a month sometimes. And it might be easy to look at, like, yeah, he lives in a beautiful house and he's got all the latest, greatest stuff. I believe he's sponsored by Traxxas. I don't really know, I'm just speculating, I don't know him personally. But regardless, if he gets all those cars for free, traveling to all these locations, buying modifications, getting new cameras, it just all adds up. And there were a lot of people in the comments that I read were just kind of crapping on him. And it went on for days, like, you know, saying how he was whining about this and that. At no point was Mark Santamaria whining. He was just telling it like it is. And I respect the heck out of the guy for doing that. I think that's important. I think we need to put this on the table and talk about it, because we're getting to a point now where some of us have been doing this long enough. We're starting to lose people now. We're starting to lose some really great YouTube channels. For example, heartbreaking when we lost Mateo Meyer. higher. With over 50,000 subscribers, he couldn't keep it up and he had to let something go between trying to run his family, get new cars in, do the filming. I mean, he had a very high quality standard. Mick over at RC Hobby Shed, another awesome channel that's just gone now. You know, I don't want to see us lose any more channels. There's way too many great channels out there and they cost a lot of money and a lot of time for YouTubers to operate. So if there's a channel that you really love, and I'm not saying just this channel, I'm saying Mark Bryan, Craig over at the OAG, Ricky at Beyond RC, Gavin at RC Kicks, Pop Along. And believe me guys, everybody that has one of these channels is working their butt off to create content for you guys every week to enjoy. And supporting these channels can be so easy. Giving a thumbs up, liking an episode, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. How guilty are we of that? I mean, I'm so guilty of it too. I'll watch a channel 150 times and be like, oh my gosh, I haven't hit the subscribe button yet. That's really important. Like that's currency to the YouTube algorithm. Becoming channel members, Patreon, affiliate links, all those things, they create a little bit of money that we need to keep our doors open, to keep the lights on kind of thing. So support your favorite YouTubers because you never know, one day they might be gone. So, are YouTube RC reviews legit? Personally, I love doing reviews. This isn't a review channel. It's a great way to make new content. It's a great way to have new products on the channel. And it's a great way for me to immerse myself in a hobby that I love and share it with you guys all around the world. Guys, that's it for this episode today. But you know what? It is still Saturday morning and I feel bad. I didn't get a chance to get like any running action for you guys. And it's Saturday, you need some action. So I'm gonna throw a little video on after here. It's a video from last year. Maybe you've already seen it, maybe you haven't. Summer's coming. It's gonna give you some nice summer vibes. It's got a nice little beachy tune and a classic Tamiya buggy that I know you're gonna love. Enjoy the video and be excellent to each other.
Imagine life is the big blue ocean. See every wave has an emotion. Sure, we're gonna have our ups and downs, but that is just one more reason to get up and dance. Why singing na 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 na. There's a way, look out. Na 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 na. Yeah. Na 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 na. What doesn't kill you will make you stronger. Challenges come, but don't resist them any longer. Waves can be big or only small. Just get up on yourself, let's can ride them all. Why singing na 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 na? Yeah, na 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 na. There's a way, way. Na 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 na. Yeah, na 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 na. Come on, baby. Good luck.